I'll make sure Commissioner sees this.
That's chronologically how it's just been going on for a month and a half. It's not fair to the superintendent, it's not fair to the board, it's not fair to children or the district. It's not fair.
It's not fair to the
Mr. Waterman.
Waterman?
Again, Mr. Brennan, I want to thank you for attending and giving this letter from the Commission of Education. I'd just like to say that, you know, a national search is not an indictment of Dr. Epps. There's nothing personal. I think with the 35, with the 35 of 40 schools failing, and
There aren't 40 schools.
excuse me, and with the high dropout rate and low graduation rate, I think it behooves us all, as parents, as people within the community, to at least see how his achievements stack up to anyone else that might be qualified to do the job. Again, it's not something personal. I mean, I don't know why people have taken this issue and made it a personal issue. It has nothing to do with any one individual. It has something to do with, excuse me, it has something to do with the children. I mean, we keep talking about the children, but the children are failing. It's not, excuse me, it's not fair. No child left behind, we all know that. But it is what it is. And this is what the federal government has given us as a guideline. And we must follow that. And with that, we have more schools than ever failing. And so we have to look at this from that perspective, not, you know, it's this area versus that area, that person versus that person. Excuse me. It has something to do with our children. And, you know, to say things are politicized, as far as I know, I mean, I've been coming to the board meetings for who knows how long before I became elected. It's always been politicized one way or another. You know what I mean? And it's not right, but it is. I mean, there's politics in education. It's unfortunate because the kids are the ones who suffer, but it is. It's not this year. It's not this month or this week. It's always been that way. I mean, people on this board, I mean, for God's sakes, we can't bring certain things into the play now because it suits us. It's always been this way. And it behooves us to get rid of it. But again, this is not an indictment on an individual. It's a look at what the federal guidelines have passed on for us to achieve, not achieving it. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, I want people to know this is not a personal thing. I mean, you know, you have your comments and you have your opinions. That's fantastic. We all do. And that's all it is. It's one person's opinion versus another. Please accept the
personal.
Quiet, please. Quiet. Thank you, Superintendent. We really thank you for your time.
Pull out.
To the chair,
Mr. Valentin.
to the chair, I tend to agree with Dr. Thompson. You know, I made a mistake. I reevaluate my mistake. But when I wake up on a Saturday morning, they tie me up with a person that even if I see her at Pathmark, I would not recognize. Then where's the national search? They already throwing names out and tying me. And that's what I resent as a board member. I wake up 3 Saturdays ago and there's the Insider Notes by Augustine Torres tying me to some lady that I do not even know. And then later on this week, the commissioner alleges also he has names throughout the state that he would like to submit to the board. So where is the search? Where is the search? I've been here for 9 years along with Dr. Conley. I will follow my heart. Dr. Epson, like our assemblyman says, when you have conversations, you get to the bottom of things. Dr. Epps has done a reorganization in this district to bring someone now. It would take 2 or 3 years. I've been on this board for 9 years. 28 nephews and nieces have gone to this district. 19 of them have now gone to higher education.
Good. Yes.
Also, if we were such a bad district, why did the state create over to the Jersey
Thank
State?
you. Thank you.
So when I see these contradictions, when I see names being thrown, and I don't even have an association with individuals, it turns me off.
All right.
It turned me off. And you can tell that to the commission. That's why I didn't even want to answer his calls, because I saw that he already had names already, so why go for a national election?
Right.
You have people already, individuals that you want to throw at this board. And I resent that, to wake up on a Saturday morning and see the inside of the nose and tie me up with somebody invisible. I know you. I don't know this thing. Thank you.
All right.
What can I say? You have a lot to
I would just like to,
remember.
in close, I didn't want to write anything down, and so in between senior moments, I will make notes after the
No, you're
meeting.
very young.
And thank you so much.
I was going to ask you, did you have a
And if you have any other questions?
No, I don't have a tape recorder, but I do want to, if I may take the opportunity to thank the Jersey City Board of Ed. Because earlier this year, we had the opportunity, General Colin Powell formed an organization called America's Promise. And there were 50 America's cities that they wanted to have a dropout prevention summit. And the 50th city, we couldn't find a city. And because of Mayor Healy and Dr. Epps and your efforts, we did have the 50th summit, Dropout Prevention Summit, here earlier. And because of that, we now have a basis of names and people's interests that we can build on and move forward. And I did want to let you know that. But
I just have one question. if I
Yes.
may. Is it true that if the board were to finalize Dr. Epps' contract, it would go to you for approval?
That's correct. Not whether the contract would be approved or not, but whether it was in compliance with the new accountability regulations about number of sick days, vacation days.
I know there are strict guidelines to that
Yes.
that we have to follow.
Yes, that's all
Thank you.
there is. And I don't think deciding Dr. Epps' contract is the toughest issue you're facing. I told you last time I was here, I think the world of you. Because unlike BP, you're not allowed to go in some room and decide, let's change from this to this. You have to do it all in front of the public. And I think your biggest problem and your biggest challenge is the challenge that's everywhere. In that little piece of paper, in the Wall Street Journal, in the anonymous blogs that can get so mean-spirited, it's principled disagreement. Principled disagreement. People who all come here, get no money, take a lot of guff, are here for the kids, and yet have their disagreements. That's how a democratic republic works. And I'll be glad to help you however I can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Board members, I have a problem here. I have a speaker who did not sign up. However, he is a former board member and an elected official, Hudson County freeholder. And without objection, I will ask him to speak. And if someone objects, please speak up because I won't allow it. But if I hear no objection, then I'm going to ask Freeholder Dublin.
I'm teasing.
He's teasing. She's teasing.
I'm teasing.
Yes,
I just
Mr.
hope
Wood.
you allow, like, going
I will
forward.
put it before the board, Mr. Woodman, just
I
like
can
you just
understand,
did.
because I remember a couple of times you haven't let certain people speak because they weren't on the list, so.
Well, I will
if you
throw
do
it out
now
at the board
for
meeting,
someone
and if
here,
the board
then-
approves, then I will do it.
Absolutely.
Okay? Mr. Freeholder Dublin, you're welcome. Former